everyone, welcome to August Astrology. It's going to be a pretty wild month. It starts out August 1st with kind of an intense conjunction going on between Uranus, which is the planet of shock and surprise, and Mars, which is aggression, wanting to take action, the planet of war, and they're both conjunct the North Node. Now that is not a planet, it's a point in the sky. And the North Node is where the future comes in. So it represents going forward, right? So all of these are in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is great for some things, but it's not great for Uranus because Taurus is the bull. It's very bovine. It's very it likes things the status quo. It doesn't like when you rock its boat. And Uranus and Mars are both like the opposite of that. They're just go, go, go and change and revolution. Now, interestingly, Taurus rules agriculture. And remember how the Dutch farmers were protesting the restrictions that their government was trying to place on them regarding the use of nitrogen? I think it was nitrogen. They protested by spraying cow manure, like literal bullshit. They sprayed cow manure on the government buildings. So that is a typical sort of reaction when Uranus is in Taurus. And with Mars, everyone's feisty. On a personal level, I would say for August 1st and for at least the week or two after it, because this is a major conjunction, so it's going to last a while. Stay calm and, just try to not get too riled up if someone's pushing your buttons, because it's going to be really difficult for us to rein in our assertion, if not aggression. Now, Taurus also rules banking and currency. So there'll probably be some more volatility in those areas the first week or so of August, okay? So moving on. Now, August 2nd, we have Venus in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus. And they're making a nice degree of 60 degrees, a sextile. And this will shake up your love life. Excitement is going to be in store. If you're not looking for it, it'll probably come to you. If you're not instigating it, just expect the unexpected regarding your love life, because people will be wanting to try new things, and just like the status quo is not going to cut it. So that's a pretty quick angle. It's not going to last long because Venus moves fairly quickly as she's close to the sun. Okay, this is a good time to be open to new possibilities and embracing change in your relationships, not just your love life, but relationships in general. They're prone to be some change in shakeups on the 2nd. Now, Venus is going to sextile Mars in Taurus on August 2nd, and this is going to boost your creativity. During this transit, we're going to tend to feel really good and creative and wanting to explore what makes us feel passionate and energized. So if you've had something, say, on your bucket list that you've always wanted to try, that would be a good day to put it on the calendar and actually take action, because you'll probably really enjoy trying this new thing. August 3rd, we have Mercury entering Virgo. Now, this is going to be a really good transit for, or placement, I should say, for detail-oriented tasks, because Virgo, as you know, is very methodical, and Mercury rules communication. So if you need to do something that's very detail-oriented, this is going to be a good time to accomplish that. Now, don't forget, Mercury is exalted in Virgo because he's the ruling planet of that sign. And so this is when that planet is working at his absolute best. So if you're editing, writing, doing anything that requires details, math, accounting, taxes, you're gonna be very, very prone to dotting the I's and crossing the T's and not missing the minutia. I don't know exactly how long he'll be in Virgo, but I will put a little thing in the video. When Mercury is in Virgo, this is a really good time also for communication, because Mercury in Virgo will strip out all the extraneous details and just get right down to the meat of the issue. And so it's going to be really a great time if you need to have a talk with someone. It's going to be a good time to do that because you're not going to get mired down in the details and be beating around the bush. You're going to be very easily able to like get to the point and clearly communicate what it is that you need. So this is a good time to have those little come to Jesuses. Productivity is another benefit of Mercury being in Virgo. So take advantage of that for getting stuff done that you've been like, oh, I don't want to do that, later. Get it done now, and you'll be able to like cross that off the list and get to the next thing, and so on and so on. You'll be surprised how much you can get done when Mercury is in Virgo. On August 7th, we have Venus in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. This is going to be La La Land. Venus rules love. She also rules money. But Neptune is the planet of creativity. So August 7th will be a really good day or evening to plan something romantic because it's going to be a very like dreamy, romantic aspect where you're feeling very creative and passionate and lovey-dovey. This is kind of like an uplifting vibe of this day. And you'll want to be with people. You want to share time with those that are close with you, or those who you love. And you're also going to be very creative and want to experiment with, say, like recipes or, just doing something that's really kind of large scale, over the top, and full of like that you really put your all into it. So this is a great day if you want to plan a nice evening with someone and impress them with your creative cooking. August 7th, put that on your calendar. And if you're not feeling like doing much that day, because Neptune does lend us to fantasy and illusion, so that's also a good night to just hang out and watch movies, escape into fantasy land, read a cool book, or listen to an audiobook. It's a great like escape evening. So if you don't have a significant other to plan some like fancy over the top meal, no worries. You can still have a really good time with yourself and enjoy it. Simultaneously on that day, August 7th, we have Mars in Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius. Now, the downside of this day is that it's going to be really difficult to get things done. And we're going to feel like we want to go faster, but we're being held back. It's almost like Saturn is the brakes and Mars is like, an 8-cylinder engine that's just roaring to go. So it's like trying to drive with the brakes on at the same time. We're going to stress ourselves out. We're going to feel like we're not accomplishing much. We're going to feel held back. We're going to try to like go faster in response. But the best thing to keep in mind on August 7th when you're feeling frustrated is, well, one thing is to not give up. Slow and steady wins the race is kind of the theme. And there's this saying, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So if you take your time and don't get frustrated, you're going to actually be able to kind of plow through whatever's holding you back, but just don't rush and get angry because it's just going to backfire. When Saturn's in the mix, we can't win. So you just kind of have to suck it up, take a breather, go for a little walk, like get some fresh air, come back to the task, and just keep plodding along. It's, Taurus, like bovine, just keep plodding along. You'll get there. All right. On August 8th, watch out for feelings that are probably inappropriate, either coming from you or toward you, because Venus is in Cancer. Now, Cancer, she's kind of like very homemakery, Martha Stewart-y when she's in this sign. And she's going to be opposing, meaning she's in the opposite side of the sky as Pluto. And he's in his home sign of Capricorn. So he's pretty powerful as it is, and he's feeling even more powerful there. And this is going to cause problems with power struggles because Venus, the planet of love, and Pluto is like the god of the underworld who digs up, subconscious stuff. And sometimes it's ugly stuff. So there's going to be probably some like yearnings for people that are either married or that are really like off limits in some way where you shouldn't be kind of messing about. It can bring out the dark side of relationships. There's definitely going to be power struggles, and it could get ugly. So just be careful on that day to really, watch your, I don't want to say like watch your six, but, watch how you're approaching your feelings, and if they're appropriate. And if they're not appropriate, and if you're feeling like inside you have that little red flag of like, ooh, something's off, like take a step back, because this is not a day to like dabble lightly with like, oh, I think I'll call my ex. I know he's been married for 3 years, but I think he's unhappy because I heard through the grapevine, blah, 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 blah. We can like rationalize to ourselves, kind of smoothing over that behavior that we know deep down is not good. So be careful for this Pluto opposite Venus on the 8th. On the plus side of this, if you've been giving your power away in any form, whether it's in a relationship, just, sequestering to someone else, or in a work environment where your boss is taking advantage of you, this is a day where you're probably going to have had enough and want to make some changes. So there is an upside to this. On August 11th, we have the full moon in Aquarius. Now, Aquarius rules groups of people. This is going to be a fun night to be out with groups. It's also, a full moon brings like culmination and endings. And if you've been involved in friend groups that are toxic, this is a good night to kind of cut ties, because when you want to get rid of something in your life, the best time to do it is when the moon is full to waning. And waning means when it's getting less full in the sky and it's going toward the new moon, which will happen 2 weeks later. So that 2-week time period is a great time, not just for, when it's in Aquarius, but any moon, to get rid of things that you don't want in your life anymore. So take advantage of the full moon in Aquarius and the 2 weeks later to kind of like cull people that are not good for you. Okay. Now on August 11th, Venus goes into Leo. Now this is like her going from being like very Martha Stewart-y to very like Marilyn Monroe-y. The Venus in Leo is going to really like rev up our relationships, our social circles of like fun. People are going to want to like be out partying and being beautiful and looking for partners that kind of like match their energy. Everyone's going to feel a little sexier, a little hotter, a little more like excited about life. So I love when Venus is in Leo. I think everyone will, and enjoy that. That'll be for probably roughly a month or so. August 11th, the sun in Leo is going to square off with Uranus in Taurus. This is going to really push our boundaries. It's going to make us step out of it's going to actually not make us step out. It's going to push us out of our comfort zone. It's going to cause us to face fears. When the sun and Uranus are not like happy together, which, a square or an opposition are those difficult angles. It's not a bad thing. It can actually like shake us up and get us moving in areas in our life, especially career, or the side of yourself that you put out to the public, because the sun rules like the big picture persona sort of, part of our personality. And when Uranus is like shaking the tree, don't fight it. This day, we're going to feel activated to like take some risks, and it's fine. Do it. This is actually a good day to kind of like get past that little like comfort zone and step onto the other side of like the fear that's blocking you from going after what it is you really would love to be doing. So take advantage of that day and be brave. Put on your brave face and like go do it, because it'll probably work out pretty well, to be honest. On August 11th, we have Mars in Taurus sextiling Neptune in Pisces. This is a great night or day for sexy time and sensual times, and just be careful not to get too lost in fantasy land, because something that can start out as a little flame can turn into a raging inferno in no time with this aspect. If you get your imagination into the picture and let it go crazy. So enjoy the aspect and let loose, but just, like stay grounded in reality, because Neptune Neptune's a tricky one. On August 14th, we have Mars trining Pluto. This aspect is great for getting down to accomplishing things that are really difficult. Pluto drives us. Mars is on fire. Like you can accomplish more than you probably even imagine right now as you're watching this video that you could. That's how intense this aspect is. Now, the thing with this aspect is you can get obsessed. And I put this picture of David Goggins up because I don't know if you've read his book. It's quite fantastic. I got so absorbed when I was listening to it on Audible that I drove past my exit and into the next state. I was in Vermont. I was like, whoops. That's how good it is. But he is he's very like obsessive compulsive with his exercising, which it's great, but it's also a little crazy. And that is why I put his picture up, because that's what this aspect can be. So you have to kind of rein it in and not let everyone else feel like they're not important and the only thing that's important to you is the thing that you're currently obsessed with, because it can be very isolating because you get so obsessed with your thing that you're into that you get kind of annoyed that other people aren't as into it as you are. So keep that in mind and don't get upset if everybody isn't jumping on board with like your passion that you're super into. But this day, August 14th, that's going to be the day where you can really make it happen. So get after it. Okay, on August 14th, we have the Sun opposing Saturn. Sun's in Leo and Saturn's in Aquarius. So two things are going to be happening. We're going to feel really insecure and you're going to look in the mirror and just be like, oh my God, I'm such a loser. I've accomplished nothing in my life. Ugh. Like, not true at all. The other thing that you're going to notice probably is that there are certain areas in your life where you need to kind of say no to people or situations and just like set some boundaries. So this is a good day to kind of mull over where you want to put some just say no's in your areas of life that are like you're kind of overextending yourself, and it's fine. Like I really think it's healthy just when you don't want to do something to just say no thank you, instead of going along with it and then being like bummed that you're at some event or function that you never wanted to go to in the first place, and then you feel resentful and then you're not in a good mood, on and on and on. So just keep that in mind on the 14th. You are not a loser and it's all good. So don't feel like this in the mirror. Okay. Now on August 18th, we have an awesome vibe going on. We have Venus, and she's in Leo, and she's trining, making a very lovely angle to Jupiter, who's in Aries. And so we've got two fire signs going on. These planets are like best friends. They always go great together. So Jupiter brings abundance to whatever area he's touching, and Venus is money and love primarily. So this is going to be a very fun day to say yes to everything, and you're going to have fun. You're going to probably, see some person that's really attractive and fall in love at first sight, so, tamp that down just a teeny bit. Don't go too bananas. But this is a wonderful day for romance, also for playing the lottery. If you guys are into that, like those, scratch cards and all that stuff, this is usually a pretty lucky day because don't forget, Venus also rules money. So buy some lottery tickets. Who knows? Maybe you'll win. Now, the downside to this is there can be a feeling of overconfidence today. So like if you decide that you're going to try skateboarding for the first time, maybe, don't hit the skate park and like drop in without a helmet, just like baby steps. That's just a stupid example I just thought of like how you can feel when Venus and Jupiter are trining. So just, use caution, but like have a great time. Another positive aspect of Venus trining Jupiter is that we find that we feel like we have stability and calmness and peace after a period of volatility and craziness. And I think we all could use a little of that these days. So I think August 18th, put a gold star on your calendar for that day and maybe call in sick and like take advantage of it and have fun. On August 20th, Mars is going to enter Gemini, and he's going to be there for 7 months because he's going retrograde this year. So Gemini is, when Mars is in Gemini, we're going to like jump from passion to passion. You know, I want to try snowboarding. I want to try whittling. I'm going to become an oil painter. I want to travel to Spain. I want to go live in, you know, the North Pole. Nope, it's too cold. I'm going to go to Mexico. Like, we're going to be all over the place regarding like where our passion takes us. It may not be the best time to like accomplish important tasks, but it will definitely be a good time to explore different realms and be able to like be doing everything all at once. We're going to feel like we can do that. And we might actually kind of be able to some extent. When Mars is in Gemini, our energies are a little more scattered. You may decide you want to learn how to do a certain sport or a new activity, and you feel super passionate. You buy all this equipment and you spend all this money, and then you do it for like a month and you're like, I'm over it. Let's go on to the next thing. So that's kind of the vibe when Mars is in Gemini. We're going to jump from passion to passion. And that will last about 7 months because Mars is going retrograde. So it's going to slow down and go backwards and then start going again. So it's going to be in Gemini for a good long time this year. All right. On August 21st, we have kind of a shitty aspect. We've got Mercury opposing Neptune. And this can make us feel very like, ugh, like your energy is drained and sapped. You may feel disillusioned. You may get bad news that, like, you know, you never expected was going to be the case. It's just going to be kind of a day. August 21st. Try not to wig out. Hopefully, you know, actually, this is good because it only lasts a day. Mercury moves so fast. So like August 21st, be expecting, you know, perhaps some news that's not going to go well and to feel less than stellar. But, you know, it's a quickie. This, I forgot to mention, this aspect also sometimes makes us want to connect with a higher guidance, whatever that means to you. So that could be a spiritual thing. That could be, you know, getting in touch with a psychic medium. Neptune rules those realms. On August 22nd, the sun leaves his beautiful home turf of Leo. Bye for Virgo. So for the next few weeks, we're going to be very analytical and organized. Sometimes when the sun is in Virgo, we can even seem a little cynical. So for 4 weeks, we're going to have that time is going to be really good for like task-oriented situations where you need to be focused and analytical and detail-oriented. So yeah, take advantage of Virgo season for those things. August 22nd, we have Mercury in Virgo trining Pluto in Capricorn. So this is actually a good day for brainstorming, for figuring out like power plays, because Pluto is all about power and Mercury is like the mind, communication, and so that day is going to be really good for figuring out how to kind of get one step ahead of the other person, or if it's not in a competitive nature, how you can kind of integrate yourself better so you can get ahead in a more like powerful maneuver. August 24th, Uranus is going to go retrograde in Taurus. And this is going to last 5 months. I'm not really excited about this because I would love to see Uranus getting out of Taurus. I just feel like it's going to bring more and more upheaval to the planet as far as weather, like volcanic eruptions, earthquakes. I mean, we've got the fires raging, but that's not really a Uranus thing. He's more like volatility. I don't really like him in Taurus, though, but we are stuck with this for, I don't know. It's just going on and on. On a personal level, during this 5-month retrograde, this is a good time to face your personal fears and sort of work through if they're rational, and if not, to figure out a game plan to sort of get stronger and move past what's holding you back in a fear-based manner, okay? On August 25th, Mercury is going into Libra. This is a really fun day for like using the gift of the gab and expressing yourself, because we're all going to be like very witty and charming. It's not a great day to make like super important decisions, but it is a good day to like schmooze, tell jokes, be funny, and, you know, charm people. Watch out for August 26th, because we have Venus squaring Uranus, and this is often a transit that brings about breakups, because people get very, all of a sudden, impulsive, and they're really like not happy anymore with relationship stuff, and it can take like the littlest thing to make someone snap and be like, that's it, I'm out. If that happens to you, where you're the one feeling like you know, I can't stand the way he chooses food anymore, I'm sick of it, I'm out. Shh, take it down a notch and try not to make any impulsive moves that day, because that's exactly what they're going to be. They're going to be impulsive. Uranus just, you know, is like a flash in the pan. It makes us turn on a dime and do things in a hurried manner. And this is a day where often you'll see people wanting to liberate themselves from circumstances, and it could probably go beyond love relationships, any kind of like personal relationship. So on August 26th, try to keep it under control, rein in the impetuous notion that, you know, you'd be better off with someone else, because it could be just, you know, that aspect. And then when that aspect is done and those planets are separating, you're going to have a change of heart and think like, oh my God, what have I done? And it might be too late to go back. So be careful on August 26th. August 27th brings a new moon in Virgo. Virgo again is, you know, it's great for detail-oriented tasks, being constructive, getting things done, cleaning. As crazy as that is, this would be a great day to put on your calendar to like clean because Virgo is the best at cleaning. A new moon like kind of brings new energy into that realm. So organizing, cleaning, you know, it's not the most exciting new moon, but it's really good for productivity. August 28th brings us a shitty aspect of Venus in Leo. Don't forget, she's all fun-loving there. So she's going to be opposing Saturn in Aquarius. And this aspect, not a fan. Anytime Venus is squaring or opposing Saturn, it's just like a wet blanket on your love life, on your social life. It brings feelings of insecurity, feel like you just can't get ahead when it comes to making progress. You may feel like somebody is trying to hold you back when it comes to like romance. Venus, when she's in Leo, like I was saying earlier, she's just like, it reminds me of the disco days, you know, like when you saw those people dressed up and going to Studio 54 and partying all night long and like just dancing and having a great time being like in that New York scene. And then Saturn comes. It's kind of like, you know, if the police came and said, all right, you know, everybody out, and like raided the club. Like, it's kind of like that. So on the 28th, you're going to feel like insecure, vulnerable. It's just going to be a little bit of a downer that day. So, you know, don't sweat it. It's a temporary transit. It's going to also be a little difficult to release emotions that you need to get rid of. Like, you know, it's, you know, when you're obsessing about something that you know is bad and you need to be like, I need to get over this already, but you can't. August 28th is going to be one of those days where you're just like going back, looking in the rearview mirror, and you know you need to be moving forward. So take it with a grain of salt. It'll be over, you know, soon enough. And just try not to, you know, let that aspect get you down, because it's going to tend to do that. So just forewarned is forearmed, and you should be okay. So I hope that was helpful. And August is going to be a little bit of an intense month because we've got a lot of gnarly aspects going on. But, you know, the sun is in Leo for most of it, so enjoy that. All right, take care, everyone, and I will see you later.